Hello, friends. Oh man. Elephant in the room. I am getting over being sick. Sick. Not sick from my VSG, sick from having little children who give me every single cold that ever comes within a 100-mile radius of me. Anyway, I'm sorry this video is 2 days late. My next video will still come next Tuesday, so that will be, I might make a video before then, but I'm saying my next weekly update. I don't know how long I'll do these for, by the way. I kind of just want to do it for myself, you know. But if I seem super out of it, that's because I am. I have a terrible cold. My last weight, the last time I weighed in, was last Monday or last Tuesday morning, I think. And I weighed in at 294, and that was after almost 2 days of fasting, except for water. And on Tuesday, 2 days ago, I weighed 281, which is amazing. That means that just in a week, I lost 12 pounds, which I've never been one of those people who loses 10 or more pounds in a week. I had to take a sneeze break. So I lost 12 pounds in a week, and from my highest weight of 310, 3 weeks ago, I weighed 310. So that's a lot that's happened just in that time period. I have lost 29 pounds, which is crazy. I'm really, really, really happy and surprised by that. I have something really exciting coming up for my family that I can't tell y'all about yet. And it's not me being super secret, I can't tell you yet. I literally can't. I can't tell you yet. But when I can, I'm going to be so happy to tell you. But when that happens, I have this fantasy of being originally I had a fantasy of being 270, but now I'm 10 pounds from 270, so I'm kind of maybe 250? Maybe I'm getting too big for my britches though, ironically. Speaking of my britches, I have a shirt that I put on earlier today. I ended up not wearing it, but I was I'm going to see how this shirt fits me now, and I pulled it on because a few weeks ago it was tight. I had to kind of pull it past this area of my arm fat. I had to pull it past. And when I did that, it would kind of bulge out. And today when I put it on, I didn't have to pull it past my arm at all. It just perfectly fit. So that was pretty awesome and surprising. I really wasn't expecting any kind of visual difference for 2 months. And maybe I'm totally silly, but I feel there already is a visual difference. In fact, I'll show you. I'm wearing a basically see-through shirt, so forgive me for that. But I'm wearing leggings, and I'll just kind of let you see. I mean, I feel there's already a difference. Is it just me? Am I wrong? My arms already look a little smaller to me. I have this I can't get it to oh, there we go. I have this roll here in my arm that I didn't have until a few months ago. So that's a new lovely thing, but it actually seems a tiny bit smaller to me. And I feel I can tell a difference already. Oh, and I don't know if you could just tell, but I can get up and down fine. I'm not in any pain at all. I stopped taking pain meds the 3rd day post-op, and I include just Tylenol in that. The 4th and 5th days I was a little sore without having any Tylenol, but it was nowhere near like unbearable, and I felt better not swallowing all that liquid. So I just stopped taking any pain meds at all. Now I feel totally fine. My doctor told me, hi. My doctor told me that I can lift my baby. He told me that pre-op. He said I can lift her immediately because the way he explained it, I'm already completely used to lifting her. So it's kind of like being like, if you're fat, you can't stand up after surgery because you weigh all this weight and your body is picking up all this weight. That makes no sense. He said that it's about what you're used to. And since I'm used to constantly lifting her, he said it was fine. So follow your own doctor's instructions. I'm just telling you what my doctor told me. But anyway, my recovery has been absolutely amazing. Apart from this cold, if I hadn't gotten this cold, I would probably already be like walking a couple miles a day. But this cold kind of knocked me on my butt. But anyway, I mean, as far as the recovery stuff goes, it's been great. Consuming food. So, first of all, let me preface this with a disclaimer. That's the word. A disclaimer. Every surgeon has different post-op nutrition guidelines, and some of them wildly vary. Like, some people are on clear liquids with no protein for like 2 or 3 weeks. My surgeon had me on protein supplements and full liquids 3 days post-op. A week post-op, I was able to start having purees if I was tolerating full liquids okay, and I was. That having been said, I am now 9 days post-op, and I am eating Oikos 000 Greek yogurt, blended, which I'll talk about in a minute, but blended like cottage cheese with a little bit of fruit. So what I've been doing is strawberries. I'll put 2 strawberries and like 3 tablespoons of cottage cheese in the blender with a scoop of my protein and a splash of Fairlife milk, and that's kind of like my morning smoothie. Sometimes I do a different smoothie. I do a few different kinds. If you'd be interested in seeing like the different kinds of smoothies I've been doing, I can show you, I guess, but just let me know if that's something that would interest you. This is the protein powder that I've been using the most. I also have a vanilla one that's the same, but this is the unflavored Isopure. I liked this because it has 0 fat, 0 carbs, and per scoop it has 25 grams of protein. And it's protein isolate. It's, you know, the good stuff. I'll put a link to that down below if you're interested in it. But I like that because I can add it to things like butternut. So I'll have like a pureed butternut squash soup, and I'll pour that with like a tiny splash of chicken broth to kind of dilute it some, and a scoop of protein, unflavored protein powder, and I will drink that. It comes out to about half a cup of soup, and I will drink that over the course of like an hour to an hour and a half as my dinner or lunch, and it gets me some liquid in, it gets me protein in, and I like that that is unflavored because it can mesh with savory or sweet stuff. So I think that that is probably the one I'll continue buying for now, just because I have these protein needs and I have so few ways to meet them right now at this juncture. So I'm a big fan of protein shakes anyway, honestly. I make good protein shakes. So I don't mind eating them. Another thing I've been adding to my morning protein shake, I think since day 3 I've been doing this, is 1 scoop of this green superfood. And again, I'll put a link down below. But this stuff's really interesting. Oh, this says promotes detox. No, you don't. My liver does that. But What I do like about this is that it gives me some dark green vegetables that otherwise I couldn't have right now. I will probably, whenever I run out of this, I'll probably just start adding like some kale to my shakes. But right now, this is a more condensed way to do that. It helps me get more in with smaller volume, which with my stomach being like super tiny is helpful. The other thing I've been adding to my shake is one of these probiotic caplets. I was diagnosed with IBS as a teenager, but it kind of just seemed like a cop-out by the doctor. I don't know if I really have IBS, but I sort of do have like intestinal issues that I think stem from the fact that I had a lap chole or gallbladder removal when I was 17, 18? 18. But I like these probiotic caplets because probiotics are good for you. And these break open, like I can pull it apart and I just dump the whole like the contents of the caplet, like into my yogurt or into my smoothie, and it's no big deal and I can just consume it that way. I meant to mention this earlier, but I'll go ahead and mention it now. Something that was really nice in my recovery, and if you have arthritis or any other kind of body pain, when you have abdominal surgery, you tend to overcompensate for abdominal weakness with your back. You kind of hunch and stuff, and that caused a lot of back pain for me. So a friend of mine sent me this. Thank you, Charlie. But I kept the box. This is what it is. I'll try to find a link to this below too and post it, but it can be used hot or cold. So I would use it cold on my like incision sites. Sorry. And I would use it hot on my back, and it was amazing. I would like sit against it and I could sort of lean my back into it. Now that I'm not having any abdominal pain, I can sort of sit up straighter and hold my shoulders up higher. But it was definitely really helpful when I was struggling with it. I started my vitamins yesterday, and I can't really, frankly, afford a liquid bariatric vitamin right now. And I told my doctor that, and he told me that what I do would be okay. That having been said, talk to your doctor before you do what I do. But I use these leftover prenatals that I have from when I was breastfeeding Evelyn, and a serving is 3 of these caplets. And again, like the probiotic, this is a whole food vitamin, so I can pull it apart and dump the contents into my smoothie. It definitely gives it a taste that I'm not a huge fan of. So when I am gonna put these in a smoothie, I usually try to use a flavored protein powder like the vanilla one. And I think chocolate would be really good too, just because chocolate tends to cover up flavors more. I'm also taking this vitamin B. It dissolves, so it's no big deal. And this is the calcium that I'm taking. I'll put links to all of this down below. I mean, take what you want. I'm also taking biotin, which I cannot find. I don't know where it went. I'm about to sneeze. I don't know where that biotin went. And I'm also taking vitamin D, just because I'm deficient in it. And those are all the supplements I'm taking right now. I was going to tell you about this because this, I wouldn't have it if my friends hadn't bought it for me, but I think it's so cool and super valuable for a bariatric patient, so I wanted to at least tell you about it. I couldn't carry the whole thing over here because I'm like puny and I don't want to, but I carried one of the cups over. My friends got me a Ninja blender, and it is one of those where it came with 2 sort of individual cups and then a food processor, and comes with these caps that like snap shut, and then you can kind of snap open too. But they gave me, my friends sent this to me, and it came like Friday or Saturday, I think, the day that I was like really able to start consuming full liquid, so it was perfect. So thanks, y'all. You know who you are. But this is awesome. It's called the Nutri Ninja, and it blends everything to schmithereens. I think it would probably be really yummy for like drinks, like cocktails and stuff. But it's great for a bariatric patient because like I took some white bean chicken chili because on my puree diet, he basically told me any of my approved foods that I can put through a blender, I can have. But I put like a couple of tablespoons of white bean chicken chili and a splash of chicken broth in that, and I blended it up, and it was smooth. It was liquid. I had no trouble having a couple tablespoons of that thanks to that blender, and that was awesome. So if you're in the market for something like that, I highly recommend it too. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tell you about is kind of TMI, so if you get skeeved out hearing about like period stuff, just skip a minute or something. I'm not going to talk about it long. But I got a weird period on like day 3 post-op, and I still kind of have it, and it's super weird. I use a menstrual cup, so I mean that's what I've been doing, but I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but it's been a super weird period. And I also, by the way, don't normally even get periods because I have an IUD in. I have Mirena, which, by the way, I love. I know a lot of people have had bad experiences, but I love mine. But yeah, it's been really weird, and I hadn't even had a period in like 3 months. So I guess that could have been a coincidence, but I kind of feel like maybe it was like a stress response by my body or something. I don't know, but I thought it was interesting and worth mentioning, especially since I have PCOS. The last thing I wanted to mention about the last week, and looking at the camera here, you can't really tell, and it's not that bad anyway, so I've been getting acne. And not like cystic acne, like big acne sores. I've been getting like little zits. Like, I got a blackhead on my cheek. I've literally never gotten like blackheads in this area. I don't really know what to make of it. I suspect it's probably just a stress thing, an immune system thing. But I thought it was worth mentioning because it's kind of interesting. But yeah, anyway, I'm doing really well. I'm losing weight. I feel great apart from being sick. Like, I cannot express to you how well I feel. Mommy feels good. So I don't know, the people who have these really terrible recoveries and tell you all these horror stories about like how they can't get in their liquids. Oh, that was another thing I was going to tell you. I haven't had any trouble getting in 64 ounces of water a day. Like, just water. Not even counting like protein shakes and stuff. So, that's awesome. But, yeah, I mean, I haven't had any of the horror story stuff. Hopefully, that will continue. And I'm really excited to tell you all about my exciting news. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you in a couple weeks' time, or a few weeks' time. And I will probably, let me know. Okay, would you be interested, because this would be more for you guys than for me, because these videos are kind of for me to watch and look back on and be like, wow, look how far I've come. But would you be interested in seeing like vlogs from me doing some like post-bariatric workouts, or like what I eat in a day post-bariatric, things like that? Would that interest you, or is that lame? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry this was so way too entirely long. If you like these videos or you want to keep following my journey, hopefully to get to like 170 pounds maybe. I think 170 is my like ultimate goal. Then subscribe to my channel. There's like a subscribe button, I think on the bottom left under the video. And also give the video a thumbs up or a like. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Hopefully next time I will have a clearer mind and not be so tired. I'll talk to you later. Bye.